Wagwan Chatroomies. This is your boy Deejay Saint, Deejay Saint. You are watching Chatroom 101. Let's get it. All right, Wagwan Chatroomies. We are back again like we never left. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you know someone who has not subscribed, or maybe you're new to this channel, please subscribe. The link is right here. Click that nini that says subscribe. Click it, and you're going to have fun. We have so many shows down there. You can enjoy yourself. You can learn from them. And today we have an awesome guest. Today we are going to deep. We are in the army today. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you guys, Yani, this show I've been waiting for it for so long. I've been waiting for him to say yes, and finally he did to come and talk to us. And I'm so excited to hear his story. He has an amazing story that will inspire you and I. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let me tell you first of all, number one, he's a motivational speaker. He's a singer. And he's into fitness. He has served this country. That's why you and I, we sleep all day, all night without thinking of anything. And he has an amazing story. And also, I've added another one. If you check his bio, Instagram, luku nayo anapiga luku pale. I call him fashionista. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas, wadau na wadaudes, please help me welcome Bill. Some of you call him Bills. Niaje Bill. How you doing, man? Did I do that intro justice?
Oh, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh,
we'll go with it.
And he's single.
We'll go with it. Yeah, see, that's the exaggeration we're talking about right there. Right there.
Yeah, for all the single ladies.
Are you sure?
I don't know, but hey, guys, our viewers, when you look at him, is he single or not? Yeah?
Let's put a poll up there.
Yeah.
Is he single or not?
I know we should vote. Is he single or not? If he's not, slide on his DM. So, Bills.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me, man.
I've been waiting for you for a minute.
It's about time, man.
I know. I had one soldier who came the other day,
yeah.
Prince Kev, and he gave us his story of how he got injured in the boot camp and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And right now we are trying to help him with his back because, you know, there are some co-curriculars he cannot do.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
you know, I think it's there is a show I've been watching, Sean Raw something. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I can't remember the full name. And some of the stories that they are giving, they are so inspiring, putting much respect and also respecting more when it comes to Veterans Day. Because sometimes we see these things on movies and then you hear people who have gone through it. You're like, wow, it's even more than the movie. Mm-hmm. Like there's this one guy who was talking about how they got Osama, right? And you're like, it's totally different from what we saw in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Manze, it's good to have you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for having me
So let me
much.
before we even start, what do you carry for your day?
On a daily basis. I do carry. I'm very simple. Mm-hmm. I carry a Glock 23. It's just a Glock. It's just very simple. No safety. I can pull it out and do my business and then leave fast.
Right.
If I need to.
If you need to.
If I need to.
Have you tried? I tried the SIG P365 Legion.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
you should
yet.
try it.
Not yet. There's
it's
a lot.
all metal, and then the grip of it.
Yeah, I'm on the wait list for a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but shooting is one of those therapeutic things that, you know, mm-hmm. if you love it,
yeah,
it's somehow a little bit therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it helps for you to calm your nerves sometimes mm-hmm. because, you know, that it bumps up their adrenaline. You're like, ooh. Yeah. It reminds me of something I used to experience with Walla before. Yeah. But it's one of those. Shooting is a great experience. I suggest majority of the people, if they want to go do something out of the ordinary, you had to go shooting first.
Go shooting.
Start shooting first, and then skydiving next if you're that brave.
I don't think my director can do any of those.
That's the thing with Africans. They're afraid of skydiving. I don't know why.
If we are scared of swimming, can you imagine skydiving? You guy, hey.
Like Ashton Hall, you'll be on the air for 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yo. It's crazy, man. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let's say you're at home.
Okay.
Someone invades your house.
Someone invades my house.
Are you going to call the cops, or are you going to deal with it and then call the cops later to come and deal with the remains?
Okay, so this person coming into my home, coming in just
to steal,
empty-handed.
No, he's loaded.
He's loaded.
Yeah, he has a gun.
He has a gun. Right there, right then and there, that's a threat. He has a gun on him. He's coming to my home. That's a red level threat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna act. I am gonna act. I'm gonna do my level best to act, especially if I'm alone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act.
So
if I have a family, at my house, I'm gonna act. I'm gonna answer later because I'm like, hey, I feared for my life. He came in with this weapon.
Yeah.
Because the evidence will show that, hey, he did come in with a weapon. Now, if he didn't come with a weapon, that's a different story now. Yeah. Because now I am putting myself in a little bit of a danger if I actually just decide to shoot. Because I'll be like, then I'm probably going to be the one paying for it later on in the future because I actually shot a man, wasn't unarmed. That's all. You got to look out with the laws sometimes, too. You got to. Right with it.
That's
but
nice.
If they're coming in with a gun, oh yeah, it's on.
It's on.
It's on.
Right away.
And I'm not going down.
Yeah. I'm not going down like that.
No.
So we're gonna talk about your life. We're gonna talk about where you were born and raised. We'll talk about your high school. We'll talk about boot camp, and then we'll talk about deployment.
That's all. That's
you know
good.
what I mean?
Yeah, so, man.
But I have one more I thought about. Let's say you're a sniper, right?
Okay.
There is Pastor Steve. He's the priest. There is Nick with the AR-47, and there is me with the bazooka. I don't know how you guys call that gun, eh? That thingy with you have to put the bomb in here and you throw it. I don't know what's the name of it.
You mean RPG?
Yes, RPG. Okay. And you're a sniper. Who are you gonna take out first? And why?
So okay, I'm a sniper. They don't see me.
No, they don't see you. Man. But they are coming your direction, though.
They're coming. There's a priest.
There's a priest. There's a guy with an AR-47, and there's a guy with whatever the heck you call that. And
I was meant to I was told my orders was to eliminate who.
Whoever you want. So who are you gonna? My question will be, who are you gonna eliminate first? That category of those three guys.
Well, to throw them off, I'm gonna take out the priest.
Oh my goodness!
Why? Throw them off. Really, you throw them off because they don't expect you to shoot the priest.
Oh, I see. Because they'll be like, if this guy is shooting a guy who does not have a gun.
Yeah, you shoot the priest and you take out the RPG.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Yeah, look at it very well. You throw them off. When you throw them off, you have an advantage because now they'll be like they're standing. You got a couple seconds to take out more. While them are standing there looking at crazy like, well, he just took out the priest, but you got more seconds to actually do what you need to do.
That's true.
And then dip fast. Now the scene.
Yeah. So where did you grow up at, Bill? And is your real name Bill? Or is it a nickname?
So my actual full name is Bill Cogan.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill Cogan. My parents decided it was a great idea to give us American names. I think it's because they knew they were going to come over here.
Nice.
And I think I call it manifestation. I call it because, we came here, That's probably somebody who's manifesting to existence. I would think of that.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Kenya.
What part of Kenya?
Nairobi. I was born in Nairobi.
Oh, you're a city boy.
Yeah, technically, I was a city boy till I was sent to boarding school.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah. So my schooling, majority of my schooling was done in boarding school.
Okay.
Now boarding school is when I learned how to be really efficient by myself. Whereby I knew, because in the beginning I wasn't doing very well at school. I was always the last kid.
Okay.
My mom was always like on my case. Why are you last? Why are you last? So I decided it was a great idea to send me to boarding school. My grades later on improved because of being in boarding school. And I learned to take care of myself in boarding school.
Nice.
Because what they were only giving me was food and shelter. I had to wake up. I had to, wash my clothes. I had to learn things, just living by myself and then figuring out. Because luckily I was not the only one, I had other students there with me. But it was an experience that, boarding school is just that. This is very, very, I would say boarding school kind of made me learn to be very independent.
Okay.
In some level of degree, right? Because I'm there, my parents are not there, I'm only answerable to the teachers who are teaching me and stuff like that. And I have to show up at a certain time or at certain places. There was a routine, but, that structure kind of really, was embedded in me, which I loved it. They had some challenges to it, a lot of stealing, a lot of they steal for you. One of those cases. I mean, boarding schools in Kenya
it's crazy.
It's always crazy, there's always like those stories when you hear about, I took my son to boarding school and his grades finally became better. I was one of those proteges. I was a knucklehead, man. Knucklehead sent to boarding school. Now I knew how to be very sneaky and very cheeky. Still maintaining that sneakiness and all that stuff. Till when I was class 8. Finished class 8 still in boarding school. Never left. From like class 4 or something like that, or maybe class 5 till like class 8. I was in boarding school all the time because that's where the benefit came of me being in boarding school. My grades going up and stuff like that. That's actually, later on I came to find out my learning is a little bit different. I'm a very practical learner. You do something, I have to actually watch you do it for me to actually understand it. But you just standing in front of me and telling me a bunch of words. It's going to get over here, it's going to get over here. I'm not going to pay much attention to it because I'm a very practical person. You got to tell me, hey, what needs to happen, how much, how long, how far we're going to do this, how far, It's very practical. It's like that one, you cannot go wrong with that. But,
true.
But somehow education failed me a little bit, but, it is what it is.
So at what year did you guys, how old were you when you guys relocated to States?
I came here when I was 13. 13, I can remember very well. This is in 2013, I think, if I'm right. Yeah, I came in when I was 13, just the thick accent.
I know.
Kenyan thick accent, you're talking and nobody understands you completely. You come in here. The culture shock was completely different because now I have from boarding school, now coming to US, learning was different. I never knew the habit of going and coming back home from school. That habit was like, oh, this is very weird.
I know.
This is very weird.
I'm not used to this.
I'm used to from school. I know where my dormitory is at. I'm used to that. But now I have to switch and then learn to come back home on a regular basis and actually maybe come up with a program to whereby I can actually do my studies in a different way for me to catch up. But it was a struggle. It was a bit of a struggle,
How long did it take you before you caught up with the system?
It took me a while, man.
Yeah?
It took me a while. I was struggling a little bit. Yeah, my grades are not great. Yeah, they were not great. Not great at all. But I finally got a hand of it because, with the culture shock changing and my parents changing as well. And my brothers changing as well. Getting that habit of, getting things together, getting my learning situated.
Yeah.
Eventually, I caught on, but it was still not great.
Okay.
To my liking, though, but I just, went by with it.
Did you go to college?
I am in college right now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I found the best. So the thing is, I liked structure.
Okay.
I liked a routine. I loved the idea of going from one place to one place, and I was looking for that.
Yeah.
And I was in high school. I think this is a junior year in high school, and this recruiter comes in, stands in the cafeteria right there in front of all students. Right there, I see him with a uniform on. I was like, all right, this is new. This is different.
Yeah.
Let me go talk to him. We'll see what he had. So he talking about the military. He was an army recruiter.
Okay.
Talking about the military. He's like, you can do this, you can do that, you can shoot all kinds of weapons.
Yeah.
So I'm all pumped up. I'm like, yo.
I want to do
and
this.
Then it's like, all right, okay. It's like, how many pushes can you do? And you know me and my African ego. I'm like,
yes,
I got this. I'm good.
I'll do 100.
I'm like, back then I was so focused on like, I can do 45 push-ups.
Okay.
I was like, not so fast. I can do 45 push-ups, but not so fast.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a little minute.
Take me easy.
It's gonna take me some time to finish those 45, but I can do them.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah. He's like, do them right now. So I was like, hold my bag.
Yeah.
So I started doing pull-ups. I started doing push-ups. I did pushes. So I ended up finishing my 45 push-ups, and everybody was like, oh, they're clapping, clapping. And then this army recruiter is like, hey, give me a brochure. It's like, this is his card. It's like, hey, this is my card. This is my number. Give me a call. And I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is great. I got to maybe they're going to take me. Will take me. How fast are they going to take me?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with that, my dad was in the Kenyan army too.
Oh, okay.
So I love the idea of just military in itself. I got the idea of that. Like, I can do what my dad did.
Yeah.
I could be what my dad did too. I could do the exact same thing, maybe follow in his footsteps. So that's the love came from there when I saw him, and then I did push aside the idea of me joining in. I was like, yeah,
it is.
I want this. And then guess who I went to? And I got that brochure. I went straight to my dad.
Oh,
yeah!
I was going there.
I went straight to him.
You went with the brochure.
Yeah, I had the brochure with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went straight to him.
Like,
I didn't even wait. Like, boss. So I saw this army recruiter. He gave me this. Like, what do you think? He first off sat down. Like, one of the African parents. They're like, I don't know. My mom did not know though. My dad, I knew I was smart to go to my dad.
Yeah.
My mom was gonna be like, my son, no.
Let me pray for you.
And then back then, we were being hosted by pastors who were pastoring a church here in Seattle. They were pastoring a church over here. And, funny enough, that man, the pastor, the head of that pastor was also in the Kenyan army too. So they kind of understood what I was into, what I was getting into. Yeah. They kind of knew. So I went with my dad to the recruiting station. We talked. And within a couple of months before junior year ended, I was already signed in. I was already sworn in.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm going too fast.
Yeah, you're going too fast. So you bring your pops the bronze, right?
Yeah, the brochure?
Yeah. So what did he say? Was he like, all right, boy?
Yeah, I mean, he was with it. Because, he was with it because I'm like, I was convincing, man. I was very convincing because I was like, this is great. This is amazing. This is like a job opportunity, man. This is like, I'm going for this, because I had made up my mind, but I just needed to figure out a way to convince them.
What about your moms? What did you guys now, both of you as boys?
Oh no, I let him handle that. I let my dad handle that problem.
Actually, at that time,
that's his problem, not me. Because I can't talk to you. I can't talk to my mom about it.
And how old are you at that time?
I am 17.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am 17 years old. Just 17 years old, trying to figure out how life is.
That's true. Yeah.
In a new country, figuring out who I am.
Coming from a third world to a first world.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then you bring military. Yeah.
I know.
Here you go.
And I think it's something that always, I think it's like us. Even me when I came, I faced a bit of challenges, right? At that time, they were offering the 20,000.
20 grand?
Hey, bro.
Why'd you not join?
Hey, bro. At that time, I was still trying to figure out, I was trying to get married, right? So my girlfriend then, I told her, hey, bro, hey, I'm going through it, and I think this is the only way I can make it.
Yeah.
And, they're giving me 20 grand.
How old were you by that time?
I think I was 26 or 27.
Oh, you could have been in by now.
I know. I'm like, so I was like, so the 20 grand, I would send 10 grand to my parents. That's like 1 meal back home. So they'll be good.
Yeah.
And then I'll have the 10 grand. I'll try to do something. Hey, bro, she gave me an ultimatum. She's like, choose love or the gun.
Oh.
I guess I was I chose the love, bro.
You'd be like, I'm sprung. Oh, she got me.
Yo, it was crazy, man. So actually, I really, because one of my roommate had already done it.
Yeah.
So, but the crazy part is you had to be deployed for you to get the 20 grand.
So that's
it was not you just
getting. Oh, they got you there.
Not you just getting.
It's like you can't just take my money from
me.
Yeah,
you did it. Because at that time they really needed folks, and that's the time you were being told anybody who is filing for citizenship, they had to get the selective service number, so in case they need you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm ready to do this, man. But when the love came, bro, I'm sprung. Here I am doing podcast. But anyway, on that note, how was your relationship with you and your pops at the age of 17, whereby now you're like, hey, pops, I want to go and...
So me and my pops, I think me and my pops, we had a little bit of a different kind of relationship because I was always looking up to him.
Okay.
I was that one kid who's always looking up to him whenever he was in army back in Kenya too. I was always like following him around. He was in the band. So I was always like constantly watching them, constantly watching him, how they do their parades and stuff like that. The marching and stuff like that. So my love was already big. For military was just big. Everything about military, I loved it, because I grew up seeing it. I grew up learning it. I grew up watching my dad go, learning for it, go to different areas and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And I loved it, So I think that's what actually made me be with my dad so much. And then just even me going to him with the brochure, straight to him was like inevitable because I'm like, this is... I'm following your footsteps. And I might pass it at some point, which I did, I think. Some degree, I think. So. Yeah.
So your papers are picked?
When I finished, when I went to recruiting office with my dad, they, I got them talking. The recruiter was a very nice gentleman. Talked to us, what is expected, what needs to happen. I had to do this test called the ASVAB test.
Okay.
I aced it, of course, because it's a very practical test. I was good with tests. I think this test was particular because, what they trained for, and I was in love with it. I was in love with the process. I was into it. I was eager to go for it. I remember when I was actually getting sworn in, I was with him, my recruiter. He was so nice. He actually came to my home and drove me to the recruiting office for me to get sworn in.
Okay.
That first day because my dad was busy with work.
Yeah.
And so I had no ride. He was very much of a nice dude.
Yeah.
to like come to my home and then drive with me to the recording office to get sworn in and everything was amazing.
How is mom's at this time now?
Mom's at this time. So, I needed to sign a waiver.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a waiver signed because I'm 17. I'm not technically 18.
That's true.
I can still sign up, but I need a signature from both parents.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem comes at. Whereby, I don't know how it happened, but for some reason I got the signatures.
Okay.
I got the signatures. I did not know how my mom felt. I don't know how she still feels about it right now.
Yeah.
Even all these years, I've never bothered to ask because I was so eager to just go. Eager to just, I want to do this.
Leave,
I want to do this. I want to do this. And then also the people who are hosting us. We have two dudes in the military who has been in the military before.
So he
of new military. They understand everything about it. So I think it was inevitable that she was just gonna accept it. I mean, because I don't know how she signed it, but she did sign it, So I was glad about it, but signed in, then went, sworn in, and my dad came in during my sworn in.
Okay.
Best experience ever.
Nice.
Saw me sworn in. Is amazing. I think still have the picture.
Oh, yeah?
It's the best experience I've ever had. I felt
it's
like I was not alone.
That's true. You're not the son.
But the thing is with me though, I was so eager to join no matter what. I was gonna do this.
Yeah.
I was gonna do this, If I wasn't really careful, I would have not joined the reserves. I would have gone straight to active duty. But I started with the reserves first, and then in between active duty and then transferred back to the reserves.
Okay.
But if it was my option, I was looking to be gone.
Big time.
Yeah, big time, man. I wanted the experience.
Let's
I wanted the American soldier experience. That's what I called it. It's like
you wanna wear the boots.
Like I wanted to see because I saw my dad do it.
Yes.
And I wanted the experience so bad. So I had to get it.
Yeah.
Whatever any means necessary.
That's a bold move, man.
It is a bold move, especially if you're 17 years old, looking at your dad, want to be like your dad. It is a bold move.
That's a bold move.
Don't very many kids be like, hey, mom, I want to join the military. Not very many kids are like that.
I know. So let's talk about the boot camp.
Yeah.
You got in.
And I sworn in. I'm in boot camp. I thought it was going to be like, they're going to make me do push and stuff like that. Nope.
Something different.
No. Man, I saw a dude on my face yelling at me, down. And back then, my accent was very thick.
Yeah.
And his accent was very thick. And so I went to boot camp in Fort Benning, Georgia. And the southern out there, their accent is very thick accent. So me, an African boy. In the southern state. Yeah. The southern drill sergeant yelling at me with the highest voice I've ever heard in my entire life, telling me down.
Yeah.
I understood it, but it was a little bit of a culture shock because I said something. I said something. He did not understand me. He said something. I did not understand me. It took me a while, so it was all down clashing. So I ended up on my face on the ground doing push-ups all the time because I couldn't understand each other.
Communication barrier. And how many are you guys doing?
So we were my boot camp, we were 60 of us, and then 30, we were split into 30. So I was in red platoon, the other one was blue platoon.
Okay.
And we had 5 drill sergeants each. And you will think you can escape.
Yeah.
No.
Can you quit?
Well, you signed up though. You raised your hand saying, I will protect the United States at all times and all costs.
Yeah.
Quitting is probably they're gonna make you quit. They're gonna make you do, but they're gonna encourage you not to quit. But for me, I was determined. I gotta get through this.
You did not reach to a point you're like, hey, bro, I cannot do this anymore.
No.
I'm a queen.
No, there's no way, because my mentality was I saw my dad do it.
Okay.
So I have to do
that's
it.
what driving you.
So that's what's actually driving me, because I'm like, there's no way I'm just gonna quit. What's my dad gonna tell me? What's my dad gonna look at me like?
Are you being a
it's like I did not raise you to be like that. I don't want to get those talks to be like.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get those like, you are an African boy. You know how fathers talk. You're an African boy. You're supposed to be strong. You don't cry and stuff like that. So what if I go out there and quit? What's he gonna tell me?
You're gonna be a black sheep in the family.
Exactly. So I didn't want to lose the respect for my dad.
Yeah.
So I had to, by any chance, by any means necessary, I had to go.
Yeah.
And that was great. It was amazing process. I loved it. Every single of it.
Was it more
raised me
mental or physical, or both?
I think it was both.
Okay.
For me, it was both, because they put me through hell. Yeah, it was both, because it got to a point where I'd be like, all right, we need to reconsider a little bit. Yeah. But I kept going, but it was tough. Okay. It was really tough. It's like straight 8 months.
Man.
8 months, they push you through rigorous exercises. Yeah. And but for me, when I joined in, I weighed 130 pounds.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, so I was skinny bones,
You need to eat a lot.
So I was skinny bones. Yeah, they looked at me and they were like, yeah, we need to get you squared away first.
We might open an NGO with you, my guy.
It's like, we need to get you squared away first. So I was putting they call it double rations. Okay. So I was eating double of my other people.
Oh, man, double portion of it.
Yeah. So I did it. I left boot camp when 160 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah. Of me just working out.
How old are you by now?
So me
how old
graduating, I was still 17 because I had to come back and finish high school.
Oh, I see.
I didn't graduate high school. I did not graduate. I was a junior when I signed up. I was a junior in high school. Okay. That's what I had to come back and finish high school. Graduate, then go back and finish it.
There's this thing I see, because now I've seen like many soldiers are recording things that they are doing in the boot camp. It's not like before, we never used to see anything. No. And actually, I have a question I'm going to ask you on top of that. Yeah. And I saw one whereby 3 soldiers. So one is at the center and 2 guys on the sideways holding the one at the center. And then she's being tased. Oh. Is that part of the...
It depends on what job you're actually doing when you joined in. Right? So when you actually do the ASVAB test, they give you a set of qualifications or a set of jobs. You have infantry, you have 90 deltas, you have mechanical engineers, you have officers, routes. There's so many plethora of jobs. You have JAG, which is actually the lawyer side of actually, the army tends to like do their own thing when it comes to like really job specific. Okay. Yeah, they tend to do their own things, which is surprisingly amazing. So they have all different kinds of jobs. So when you get tased, it's probably like military police kind of thing. Okay. The job they were going for. Yeah, we hate those, man. So
there's somebody might be watching you right now, right?
Yeah.
And they're thinking of joining the army, and you have said like there's so many things like you gotta choose all. Yeah. How should they choose? Like most of the folks, they just wanna go to the military and get a scholarship for the school, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes maybe they don't know how to go about. They find themselves on the front line.
So first thing first, I will say, look at that ASVAB test. That ASVAB test will give you more options. So if you have a higher score on ASVAB test, you have more options into doing more stuff.
I see.
Yeah, you have more stuff to do more stuff. So that ASVAB highest scores, I think it goes about, I'm not entirely
90
sure.
90 or 80? Huh? 90 or 80?
Oh, it goes even until hundreds actually too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's whereby if you get like a high score, you can join in. If you have like 100 and something, I'm not entirely sure. You can join in the Air Force and do
Okay.
tech.
Yeah,
And you can only be in the office all the time, and then I'll call it cupcake.
Yeah. Oh, cupcake. The job is just,
Yeah.
man, okay.
I mean, you can do that, you know. So there's so many jobs you can choose out from military, right?
Okay.
The lowest you can choose, which is the infantry one, you know, which is you're gonna be up front out there
Oh.
in the majority of the times.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is not bad. Trust me, it is not bad because it takes some type of level skills to be in the infantry too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just some any regular.
You'd be like,
No, you're not just gonna be just anybody. You are somebody who, if you're trained well, you can do a lot of damage.
man, how was your experience when you held the gun? For
It
the
was
first time.
It was new, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I never thought in my entire life I was gonna hold something like this. It was very new.
Yeah.
I was like, because they give it to you the time. Immediately you join in, and then you get sent to a unit. They will give you a rifle to hold. They were like, you're not supposed to like leave this anywhere, anyhow. This is your weapon, and your weapon alone. You're supposed to protect it at all times. So you're gonna hold that weapon as long as you can.
Yeah.
Your entire time,
Man.
you're gonna be there. You're gonna, if you need to sleep with it, you're most likely gonna be sleeping with it.
Yeah.
So
Man,
yeah,
that's, I don't
it's. I mean, it's embedded. The training by itself, it's embedded for you to be able to not just take it lightly.
Yeah.
And then just most likely take it very serious. You know, so for me, I was a 19th Delta, which is a cavalry scout.
Okay.
You know, we're a little bit better than the infantry. So, you know, so
I also see like you guys have I'll call it like a beef. Is it like a competitive beef between the Army and the Navy SEAL,
yeah, it is there.
Rangers?
All of them. There's always been.
Why?
It's because it's just like, it's kind of like one of this little big brother who you're always like, I'm gonna get you someday.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. One of those things where be like, I'm bigger than you either way, so you can do nothing to me anyway. You know, I was here before you, kind of thing. So it's kind of that battle.
Yeah.
You find like the Delta Force who call like the Navy SEALs lifeguards. Because it's crazy.
Okay.
You know, they call Marine Corps, you eat crayons all the time, you know, that stuff. You know, so it's just little internal beef.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that down the nitty and gritty, oh yeah, we're all gonna back each other up no matter what.
You guys are, man.
Yeah.
You guys, it's a family thing.
It's always a
Did
family
you
thing.
ever experience racism when you're in the boot camp? Or there's no racism there?
I don't think there is racism because there's a black drill sergeant and there's a white drill sergeant, and you are black and the other counterpart is also white. So, and all of you guys are experiencing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
There is no really
Any chance of you?
any chances of being racist and stuff like that because like we're in hell right now. There is no
Gotta
time.
protect each other.
We gotta protect each
We have a
other.
common enemy.
I know, you know, there's no that you don't get that chance because you're there for a certain reason because they go about this. It's very strategic. When you raise your hand, say, "Hey, I was sworn in." Since you sworn in, they will abide by that law no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what you follow, no matter what. You know, foreign and domestic, everything is under that law because now you made a commitment and everybody is loyal to that commitment.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing I like about the military, we have these sayings that in majority of the times when you keep on saying it all the time, every and there, it becomes something embedded into you, something commonly, like it's like a muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Like if you see the cadences, those cadences are just all about loyalty, all about, you know, sacrifice, bravery, and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So the thought of being racist is nowhere close.
Okay.
Because what's embedded in you on a daily basis is all about sacrifice, bravery, you know,
Yeah.
self-service, you know, just not being someone who's not productive. They're gonna make you productive,
Yeah.
you know. And then plus, here's the thing: if you actually lag behind or you are different from everyone else, or outside from that, you're gonna be separated, and then now you're gonna feel so bad because you're gonna feel so bad because you'll be like, man, those are the same people I signed up with. They're doing things that I wanted to do too.
Yeah.
They're doing it. I'm not doing it because I decided it was a great idea to quit.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel some type of way, and you're gonna probably like left aside, but you're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna feel some type of heaviness because you're not with the people who you're with. You know, so it's like you'd rather be in the hellhole together than be outside the hellhole and then watching others just enjoy all the fun.
Man,
Yeah.
how was your parents' reaction when they saw you in full uniform? Now you're...
So my dad came to see me in graduation when I graduated boot camp. So my mom did not. I think she was busy working.
Oh, okay,
But my dad did.
Okay.
And it was...
Emotional?
I don't think it was a little bit emotional for me. I think for me, that's when I saw my dad actually really smile so much.
You're like, I'm proud of this.
Yeah, I saw my dad smile so much. He actually talked to my first sergeant over there in boot camp. Yeah, he was smiling so bright. I've never seen that smile from him so
How
much.
did that make you feel?
It made me feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me feel good because I'm like, I just did something that my dad can be saying I'm actually proud of. It's actually a milestone for me as an African boy. Seeing your dad smile like that because you did something, that's a milestone.
It is.
Bro,
It is.
African parents don't smile.
They don't even say
they're proud of you. They're proud of you.
I know, man.
But that reaction for me in itself is like it was much needed.
Yeah.
Because me being close to my dad like that, yes, it's everything.
Man,
Yeah,
did your mom ever see you in full uniform?
Yeah, she has seen me in full uniform. Yeah, but I've never. She's just like surprised.
Oh,
Oh,
is this my
surprise.
son?
This is my son. Thing
Yeah.
is, I was grown up. Back then, I came back weighing a little bit more,
Yeah,
so I was a
definitely,
little bit looking a little bit different. How I was acting was a little bit different too, because they noticed my behavior was a little bit different
Yes.
than normal. Because before boot camp, man, I was just a mess.
Yeah.
Like I was just like my clothes were everywhere and they'd grown. But when I came from back at boot camp, man, everything was neat. Because that training was like a muscle memory now. Like I had to arrange everything and stuff like that, live in a different way. And later on in the future, and kind of like behind up, but
So I've been listening to most of the folks who have served, right? And some of them, the reason why they joined the army, maybe they were black sheep in the family, and they had to do something to prove a point, like I'm this guy.
Yeah.
Or I want my parents to be like, hey, I'm proud of you. And then the rest I've seen, they had a broken family, and so they're looking for that somewhere they can feel like they're in,
Yeah.
For you, did you feel like now, like my pops is so proud of me, did you feel like I have accomplished something and my parents can be proud of me being in the army?
To seeing my dad's reaction like that, as proud, was just like, all right, this is the first step.
Yeah.
I would say this was like, all right, this is the first step, and I'm on the right direction.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I was knucklehead, man. I couldn't stand on
listen to
nothing.
nothing.
Nothing, man. I was, and I think second-borns, because I'm the second-born in my family.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Man, firstborn face it, bro. Firstborns face it,
See,
bro.
no, here's the thing though. Firstborns, you guys are washed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Secondborns, we are not washed.
Yeah.
And then the lastborns, they're babied.
That's true, yeah.
So secondborns are already independent by any chance, right? We're the ones who are rebels. per se, if you look at it very well, very big rebels.
And most of the time, you're the
And
family favorites.
we are always the black sheeps in the family. When you think about it, so we kind of tend to do the unorthodox thing. We're not always noticed. And I think it's just inevitable because, you know, it's how parents are, you know. But for me, it actually did play a big part of me even joining the military because now even my dad's reaction to seeing my dad like that, proud for me, someone who's never been watched on the knucklehead, on the wallet, wow, that's big, you know, because I'm like, I actually did something that was not as bad, you know, and you just learn to, like, you know, live with it.
Let's talk about deployment, bro.
Yeah, man, deployment.
Actually, before we talk about that, if you were to choose Iraq or Afghan, where would you go?
Like right now? Like, I have any other option?
No, those two. They call you and they're like, hey, bro, we need you.
Yeah, I'm going to Iraq because I've never been there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only because I've never been there.
Okay.
Yeah, Iraq, because never,
man, I think I'll be like...
I've been in the Middle East, but not right in Iraq. So, yeah, I'm going to Iraq if I have to choose.
If you have to choose. give us Nene, about deployment, how it was. Take us through that journey.
So, before deployment, we had they like giving us orders and stuff like that. They're telling us, yo, this is where we're going to be going. They're telling us our mission statement. You know, we are there to train, you know, the counterpart soldiers, you know, for our military culture and military, you know, day-to-day activities. That's our main job, per se, right? You know, they're giving us rigorous training on, like, what to say, what to do, you know, what not to say, you know. I found out that Ramadan is taken very serious over there, actually. So if you eat even in front of them, they get mad very fast.
Is that Afghan or?
In Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, they get mad very fast.
Even though
Ramadan,
you're not,
man, telling you, it's a Muslim country, man. They take that thing so serious. So if you're not really aware of the culture and stuff like that, if you're not really don't know what to do in that culture, it's gonna be very hard on you. Because if you we were always reminded they don't eat pork. All right, it's know.
Halal.
It's around.
I
was saying, you know, they don't. You're not supposed to talk to the ladies out there. You know, you're supposed to talk to the men.
Okay.
Because apparently they see the women over there as a property. Yeah, so you can only talk to the men. You as a dude, I can't really talk to you, the lady. You know, that was there. You know. You know, they tell us that. You know, they tell us, hey, you gotta do this, this, and this. If they offer you food, make sure you don't say no. Because if you say no, you might look suspicious.
Okay.
Now, you know, so one of those things. We get there. First off, these people are hyper as hell. We get there and they are waiting for us. Like they're
they're ready for you guys.
They're legit waiting for us. And the first time they're introducing us to them, we're thinking like, oh, we're gonna have to talk to the men. Oh no, we meet the soldiers by then. They're all dudes actually, by the way. There's no female out there. Oh, so we hit it off. You know, everyone they're coming, you know, coming together, you know, stuff like that, interacting with each other. They're trying to know your name. Some of them know a little bit of English. Some of them don't know English at all. And then, you know, and that's when they came up with this name Abu Samra for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was the only black dude at the time out there. So they call me Abu Samra because Abu Samra, the Middle East, is actually the black guy.
The black guy.
Black team guy.
Okay.
You know, so I don't have the name. I'm like the black to death. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm Abu Samra now. You know, so we get there, you know, we get all those nicknames, and then they challenge us in things like, oh, pulling out our M4s. They challenge us who can disassemble and assemble M4, how fast they can do it, how fast they can do push-ups here and there. It's just teasing here and there and stuff like that. We get together. The breaking is like breaking the ice before we actually get the ground running into like just trying to get to know them. It's actually a very big experience because they gave us this little coffee thing. It's amazing. That coffee is sweet. Yeah. By the way, they give it in a little cup like this. It's not like these big cups like anywhere. Yeah. I know, they offer you, I think in Africa we call it strong tea.
Yes. The turungi, right?
Yes. They gave us that. Okay. So I was like, oh man, it reminds me of home. It reminds me of Africa, man, because I'm like, this is strong. I know what this is. Yeah. So one of those kids, because you have to, share it with them and stuff like that.
That's true. Yeah.
Get there, all hyper and everything. They want to learn everything. And then now when we start training with them, we found out they're very lazy as hell, man. Ooh. They don't like to work. We show up. We're supposed to show up at 6 in the morning. We're supposed to start training for them, and we're supposed to go till maybe like 1400. No, they show up 8. They show up 2 hours late. Oh, shoot. Because and they show up, and then they show up as hyper as hell because they go through their prayers and stuff like that before they do it. So we're thinking like they'll be done with prayers and stuff like that, and we as Americans, we're like, all right, we're gonna hit the ground running, we're gonna keep going. But no, they have to do their own things. So they show up at 8. We start learning. Both of us not understanding each other because of the barrier, so we have to have an interpreter next to us. They're interpreting, we're saying something, they're saying something else, and they like to go off topic so many times because they're trying to learn or maybe mess with you a little bit when you're training them, and it goes haywire. So you will find yourself sticking to one topic, but they have talked about 7 different other topics outside of what you're supposed to do. Ooh. So you end up not doing anything. And when it gets to noon, all of them are tired. They don't want to do anything. They want to go home. So in most cases, you just find them, you work from 8 to 12. And then because they're tired, you can't really do anything because you are there to train them. You need them to train. If you have anything else to do, they had nothing else for us to do, so we just go back to base majority of the time. So it's just an ongoing thing. Now we kind of got a little bit creative when it comes to that training. We incorporated live gun ranges and stuff like that. Live battle, missions and stuff like that. It's a kind of mock battle missions and stuff like that, what to do or not to do. Yeah, we've seen how we're training, how they're doing it. It's crazy.
Totally different, or it's you guys are way better than them?
Oh, we are super better than them. Completely better than them. This is like you're training a 2-year-old kid to stand. Wow. It's that bad, because they don't know our tactics. And learning new skill, it takes time.
Yeah, that's true.
It takes
And why
time.
are you guys training them though?
That's what we were meant for there. That's why we were called for there. It's one of those things that American does it. It says peacekeeping missions whereby you train us, we train you and stuff like that is one of those. It's not big as much. But what is really stressful though over there is their way of life. Okay. Their way of life is not great at all.
What do you mean by that?
The way of life is just, even the environment by itself, first off, is hot. Okay. There's no many buildings out there for them to live. They live in hats and stuff like that. Like the normal civilian people live in hats, and you look at how they're living. They wear one clothes from January to January. It's just bad. They have herds of goats, and they depend on those goats to actually, their livelihood, stuff like that, And out there is just, there is grass, but it's those little patches of grass that the goats depend on to eat and stuff like that. But everywhere else, it's dry. Oh, man. It's the way of life is just depressing. It is
It's
really
worse.
depressing.
It's worse than Africa.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, it is that bad, you know, because out there too, you got to look around behind your shoulders because you don't know anything can happen. You know, because you might be coming there for a really good reason, you know, to train them, but you don't know anything about them. You've never really interacted with them for a longer period of time to actually know them and actually know their intentions. So you gotta be extra careful,
man.
Stuff like that.
So after Jordan, did you guys ever go any other mission?
There were talks about it, but no, not really. And I liked it like that because the way of life over there too, it was already depressing. And you take us to another mission too. Now you're adding more fuel to like something already. Most of our soldiers are already mentally tired. Are mentally depressed, and we have like our zeal to like really do something. It's so low. You know, it's like you know when you find somebody who is just depressed, it's like that, and you can't really change anything about that. You know, you just have to like abide by it.
Yeah. Man, that's hectic.
It is hectic, man. It's tough, man. That's where I think for me per se, I really decided to zero in on my fitness because I had nothing to do.
Yeah. What about the ladies though? What's going on with the ladies?
How you gonna talk to the ladies and you're all supposed to talk to the man?
Jesus Christ, babe. Yeah.
How are you supposed to do that?
Yeah. So you soldiers are there just with the remis.
No. So that's where you start developing habits of really working out. You know.
Yeah.
Actually, before I deployed, I was 175 pounds. After I deployed, came back home, man, I was 215 pounds, man. Just big, just because I was working out and eating. And, training people who are lazy. They don't want to do nothing, so you can't really do anything. You know, all you can do is just fun stuff, go to gun ranges and stuff like that with them, show them how to shoot. You know, show them how to aim, actually how to hold a weapon. And that's all you can do. Imagine you try to teach somebody and you don't know the language of them, and you have an interpreter of them, so you have to say one sentence, wait the interpreter to say one sentence, and then so it's like that back and forth. It's hard.
I know
it's hard,
man. I don't even think I can do it. I'll be like, I quit. I want to go back home. This is too much.
So it gets tough, man. It gets tough. I think that's when our unit, they decided, we're going to take this opportunity to actually sharpen our skills. So they invited us they were like inviting us to go to schools, per se. They were like, there's chances to go to air assault school. There were chances for us to go to airborne school and stuff like that out there in the Middle East, because they'd be like, this is a perfect area we could do these schools. You know, because it's not assimilated as the way we assimilate back home here. We got the grounds over there. We got the airplanes over there to do those schools and stuff like that, which was amazing, by the way. Great.
Man, I've seen so many soldiers struggle with PTSD. Is it that there is is there a system that supports them on how to be able to handle it? Or because I've seen a couple of stories whereby like some of them are like they have killed themselves, and others are in a verge of doing it, and they just get a help from one of their friends and they turn around. Is it that the government does not have a system that supports you guys when you're done and you're all by yourself?
The government has a system, which is the VA. But the thing is, the VA is very limited. Okay, the resources are very limited for the VA. They can only do so much to so many soldiers, you know. And some of them, their life is so traumatic that it needs more help outside the VA. Like you can really tell this person needs help outside the VA because the VA don't have so many resources on that. even though they pour so much money on it, so many people can help, and actually understand what's going on there. Because even when coming back, you're not the same anymore because you are used to already your body and your mind and how you actually really interact by yourself or one to another is completely different.
Yeah.
Especially if you stay there for longer than 6 or 7 months, you're out there for almost a year or something like that. Your body has already changed. You have already succumbed to like changes already, and your mind is completely out of nowhere. So your experience coming back home here, it's never gonna be the same. You're not gonna be acting the same way.
Yeah.
You're gonna be acting, like yo, like anything happening, like it's gonna be a little bit anxious, because you don't know. First of all, you don't know what your family feels about you being over there. That's number one.
Yeah.
And you don't know how they think, how they thought about you being out there. And number two,
Yeah.
they don't understand the experience of you, what went on over there. You can't really talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Because you yourself, you're like, man, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna really understand what I'm really going through. The only people who you can really talk to is the person who's been there before.
Yeah, your comrades.
Or comrades. And sometimes your comrades is not enough. Sometimes your comrades can only do so much because your comrades also, we gotta remember too, your comrades is going through the same thing as you.
Yeah.
He's probably has his daughter somewhere asking him what he did and he can't really say anything about it, It's probably maybe the wife is like, you are different, you used to talk to me, now you don't. And that becomes a problem in the marriage too, And it's so hard. It's very, very tough.
Yeah.
And if you're not really careful of who you're handling or who you're talking to at that stage, especially when you're coming back, you might end up doing something egregious, Unfortunately for me, one of my buddies, decided to end his life, So we were there with him, but it's because, nobody really understands what I went through down there. Nobody went through. Plus, coming back home here and you're depressed all the time.
Yeah.
It's just best. When someone was just thinking, it's just best, end my life, end this misery.
Yeah.
Because coming back home is super hard, And then you get these questions like, how many people did you kill? I'm like, yo.
I was about to ask you that question. How many people have you killed?
I'm so tired of that question. I kid you not. I am so tired of that question because number one, that is murder. Number one, okay.
Yeah. So should I say you guys are murderers?
Number two, we have laws of there are laws out there. The Geneva Convention, that's what it's called.
Okay.
You can't just go out there and start killing people anyhow. No, you gotta get court-martialed and army prison. You don't want to be there.
That's true.
That's even worse.
That's
you
crazy.
You don't want to just get court-martialed for doing something that you're not supposed to do. So it's one of those things whereby it's a gray area question to just ask because who knows how many people someone killed. Like, why do you want to know in the first place? That's another question, like someone will ask him, like, why do you want to know?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to report me to the court martial? Do you like, do you want, like, or is it that you just want to know to say, oh, my dad or my somebody did kill people, so you don't want to mess with me, he might kill you too. Or you just want to, I have a friend I know, or you just want to put that as in your books to say, but.
Like this one is going to put miles on me,
No, I did not kill anybody. No, but.
Were you ever in a mission and maybe one of your comrades saved you or you saved them?
Back in the Middle East, majority of our Because majority of my unit was meant for the training purposes.
Okay.
So we were never really even close to that. But I did come across some of the Green Berets that were actually there.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in Syria, actually. They were doing some stuff in Syria. I don't know what specific, yeah, but they were in Syria. The rumors were they were in Syria doing some other stuff.
Okay.
So I was very impressed by them. We did a couple of trainings with them as well. We got to see how they actually shoot. They trained us in a couple of stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Those people, they're very skilled.
Between Navy SEAL and Delta, who are the badass?
For my personal opinion, Delta Force all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is it that right now so many people are exposing more about Navy SEAL than Delta?
I don't know. I really don't know why. Or maybe it's because, for me, my thing is, maybe it's because some of the Navy SEALs people are writing books about it, or maybe they're talking about their life
so
missions or
many
what went over there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of them are actually coming out and talking about it.
Yeah.
I never see Delta Force talking about it. I never see Rangers talking about, like, on a rare occasions I will see maybe one or two Rangers, maybe, but they're not writing books, or they're not really doing so much out there to put themselves into a really tough situation, you know. You know, they hide their stuff very well. Which personally why I say the Delta Force all the way. Because with the Delta, you really don't know what they actually did. You can't really tell.
It's sealed.
It's very sealed. You can't really tell, you know.
Yeah.
Even with the Navy SEALs ones, yes, you might get a glimpse here and there, but who's gonna corroborate that story though? Nobody is gonna tell that story to be actually accurate unless they are the ones telling it, you know, because they are the ones who experience it. And you have to believe it because they were there, you know, and you were not there.
Yeah.
You know, so
if they called you to go back, would you go back?
If I have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to. I'm not holding back. I'm in a heartbeat, I'm going.
Yeah.
If I have to. If I don't, oh yeah, I'm retired. I'm staying home. I'm putting my feet on my table.
Yeah. Just chilling.
And I'm eating my ice cream this time.
And cupcakes.
I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go for a run.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing none of that.
What's up with your relationship, bro?
On which one? Which one?
Is you single? Are you seeing somebody? You know, most ladies like to, you know, they like for people who are in the uniform.
Oh yeah, uniform baddies, huh?
The army. They you know, they wanna feel protected. Feel. How is your dating life?
Dating life, it's up and down, man.
Yeah.
It's up and down. Plus, the thing is this though, the way my life is structured, why I say it's up and down is because the experience I've experienced through, I can't just up and decide to just date anybody.
Okay.
You know, for me, I have to I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna have to vet you first, you know. And I'm one of those people who I can't take anything lightly. You know, there's so many things I can just let go. You do one wrong mistake, you out. Yeah, I have zero patience when it comes to. I have zero patience when it comes to like things that are gonna really affect me in the long run. I have zero patience with someone who's gonna come and take out my peace. I don't mess around when it comes to that, because what I experienced back even when I was deployed, even with my friend dying and stuff like that, there are things that I put in place for me to be very secure of myself.
Yeah.
And to be level-minded and not just up and decide, oh, I'm just going to date anybody, you know. Because for me right now, look, if I was having problems with my head and I decided to date a girl who's very toxic.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster, man. That's a recipe for disaster, man.
Yeah.
That's like putting oil and that's like putting, gas and lighting a gas in fire and stuff like that. You're calling problems at your own home. Why?
Have you ever failed to take yourself out?
check myself out. The thoughts of it, in the beginning, I was like a month in when I came back from deployment. The thoughts of it, yeah, but it never really got to a point whereby I had to, because I surrounded myself with people who are actually, I knew for a fact.
Yeah.
They don't know much of the experience of it, want to say, but they know enough to know what to do, per se, right?
Okay.
Like for me, what will help me was really church.
Yeah.
You know, because I came back home and I was with Davey,
Yeah.
one of my praise team leaders, the one person who, you know, I could go to. He understood what was going on.
Yeah.
I told him about my friend dying and killing himself, and he understood it, you know.
Yeah.
By him being there was just enough for me, because we were actually in church doing something. We were actually on a cause sensitive doing. He was always keeping me busy, and because I like that too. You know, I was keeping my mind away from things.
Yeah,
so I would cherish those moments for a long time.
Man.
I can't forget those moments. So yeah.
There's some soldiers I see, like, even when they retire, they either like live far away from people, you know, and they are constantly, they have, like, their environment, they have to have a gun to keep them busy and stuff.
Yeah.
On you, how do you keep yourself busy? Like, in your environment, how is it like to you keep yourself calm, collective, and in sound mind?
Really, I found love at the gym. I found love at the shooting range. A lot of times, lately is the shooting range, and now lately is actually shooting range, the gym, and the books.
Okay.
Reading books most of the times, you know, keeping myself away. And since I'm in school, so I'm always already, you know, I have things to do, so I don't have time to like sit down and be sorry for myself all the time.
Okay.
You know? This is a time and place for all of that.
We'll talk about fitness. But before we get there, what advice would you give anybody who should protect their home or their family? What should they have at home?
First off, go and get a concealed carry permit and get a gun at home.
What
really?
kind?
It doesn't matter. Whatever is comfortable for you. Really, because there's so many guns out there, man.
Yeah.
There's so many modifications you can do to a simple gun. One Glock, you can do so many modifications to it. You know, it just depends on how you feel.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say you just get a concealed permit, get a gun at home, and then make sure you have a safe though. But then get all the safety measures you need to, and then learn Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Learn how to fight. Really. And then, because 9 out of 10 sometimes, most likely, most altercations, it's probably one gunshot is going to stop every single altercation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can do damage with just one bullet.
Yeah.
You know, so just learning how to use a gun, very efficient, yeah.
Let's talk about fitness.
Yeah, let's talk
I wanna
about
be like you, man. So many of us come to you guys and be like, bro, I wanna be like you. What should I do?
Dude, see, the thing is, the military kept this mentality for me. It built in the discipline, right? You know, built in the discipline of whereby even if I don't like it, I have to show up. You know, so that's the thing I take about fitness too, right? Even if I like about going to the gym, even if I don't like it, even if I don't feel like it, I still have to go.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing more than a lifestyle, you know. And if you take it like that, and then you just keep on putting the discipline from step 1 to step 2, keep on doing that, step 3. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter who called you what. It doesn't matter who called you big. It doesn't matter who called you small. It doesn't matter who did what. If you just kept going on with the discipline, eventually you're going to get there.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just got to learn your diet.
Yeah.
Really about it, you know.
You know, especially us Kenyans, eh?
Yeah.
Let's talk about diet for a minute.
Kenyans are the worst with diet, man.
You know, for us,
There's some chapatis and
Mbosho
rice
and
and
rice
mbosho and rice.
and gima.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's the worst. What?
I'm not supposed to eat that. You know, I just figured out the other day, because my director here, by there, he eats getheri, yeah? and you know, back home, we would say that having beans is protein, right? And then
Yeah,
I
you
came
can
later
go
to
with
find
that.
out like 64% of it, it's carbs. Like, so I'm like, Yani Maze, you want to tell us we've been eating carbs? Like, you have
Yeah.
rice,
Yeah.
and then on top you have beans, because you're saying beans is protein. And then on top of it, you add chapati on top.
And then the chapati, and then you add potatoes on top of that thing too.
And a cup of tea.
In a cup of tea.
Maze.
Bro. And you wonder why you never get the six pack that you wanted.
I know, man. I'm like, no wonder my director is not growing. So help us with diet. Like, how should, let's say I'm trying to gain muscles, right?
Yeah.
I'm skinny right now. I think I'm 150 or 160. And I'm trying to build muscles. How should be my diet be like? And should I work out 7 days or 3 days should I do like 1 hour workout, 3 or 40 or?
First thing first, 90% of your whole fitness journey is gonna come from your diet.
Okay.
It's never about the gym actually. It's from what you eat.
So 80%
Because
is
90% is actually food.
okay.
Yeah, what you put in your body.
Yeah.
Because you need your body is like your food is the fuel that you're gonna keep your body.
Yeah.
You need carbs. You need vitamins. You need proteins.
Yeah.
You know those three balanced diet. You need those are most high, right? However you want to balance it is up to you.
Yeah.
But I usually suggest people, especially if they're big, to completely reduce the carbs
Okay.
and then just deal with vitamins and proteins.
Okay.
Just deal with that for a while back, and then eat a lot of fruits and drink a lot of water.
Okay.
I promise you, but you can easily lose the amount of weight that you need to. You know, and working out, you can work out as within 45 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. That's good. That's enough.
What about someone like me who want to bulk?
If you want to bulk, then that's a little bit different.
Okay.
So bulking now means you have to up intake your carbs. You gotta up intake your proteins. You gotta up intake your vitamins too. So you gotta do that on a higher, pace.
Yeah.
Whereby instead of eating 3 times a day, you can eat 6 times a day or every 2 hours. If you really want to bulk up to a really level whereby I have to get it this way, you know. There's so many things out there. The one thing that I really pray so much people don't follow. Don't follow people telling you take these supplements, you're gonna get you better. No. You can literally eat the food that you cook at home and actually go to the gym and actually be fine. Yeah. And get the amount of what you need. Supplements, they're great, yeah, but to what point? You're going to get more 12 side effects of supplements that was created in a lab. For what? Yeah. Why you can just eat the whole foods that was made at home. Yeah. And just get the exact same thing on the healthier side, So really, if you really want to get your fitness level first situated, you have to start with your diet. Okay. That's the number one thing you have to start with.
Let's talk about your fashion, brother.
My fashion?
Yeah, well,
I have so many fashions.
Look unatoa wapi buda. Hook us up, my guy. I checked your Instagram, Mazeli. Every day you have a new look, man. You have a lot of money. You see, like me now here, I'm repeating these clothes, bana. Help us, some of us who are trying to upgrade our closet.
Look, I mean, for me, I learned this from Steve Harvey a while back.
Okay.
He said, your first impressions makes everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
how you present yourself is everything. How you want to be talked to, how you want to be looked at,
Yeah.
is everything, right? You can wear a suit and you can be looked at in a different way.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can wear a jumpsuit like, I am. And then you can just think, oh, this is just a regular dude. Nothing on, But when you wear a suit, you can be, you'll find yourself, you're actually walking a little bit different. You're talking a little bit different. You can look at it this way, right? If you see some people when they're just wearing jeans and shirt and stuff like that, when it comes to cursing, it'd be easy for them to start cursing and stuff like that. Their English is not that articulate and stuff like that, and they articulate themselves very well.
Like
myself. But when they wear a suit,
the English had to English.
Because
the vocabulary is up to vocabulary.
You know why? Because the attire itself, it forces you to actually act the part. So you're just gonna act out of the ordinary, because now people are gonna be like, man, are you sure? Are you really portraying what you did? So I've always seen dressing well. It always puts you, up there.
Okay.
Just the first impressions. If you want to just know me for that, first impressions, you're going to know who I am from first impressions.
Yeah.
And it's bold.
That's true.
Something bold, especially if something that you created, if it's a design that you created and you wear it out there with different colors, that is bold.
That's true.
Don't many people can do that.
Definitely.
Not many people can do that. It is also, plus, it's kind of your signature too. It's like true. Also really creating who you really are. It's like your identity. You're like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And you're going to take me this serious because I take myself this serious.
Yeah.
That's really why I just dress. Just nice.
That's dope, man. Okay, we dress. Okay. There's a parent watching you right now.
A parent.
A parent. They have kids who are telling them, "Mom, I wanna join the military," and the parents are like, "My son, my daughter, no. You cannot join."
Which type of parents? American parents or Kenyan parents?
Kenyan.
Oh,
mostly
Kenyan
Kenyans. Let's talk about Kenyans.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, And then there are some, I'll call them Kenyan American youngings, right?
Yeah.
They're at the age whereby they don't know what they want to do, and so they're trying to figure them out.
Yeah.
What advice would you give those two guys?
If they want to
join the army?
They want to join now. First thing first, I'm like, tell them, hey, first thing first, learn the ASVAB test. That ASVAB test, just take it and see how you range for it, right? Because the first thing for you to actually do something that you really want to do it is taking the action.
Yeah.
You can't just talk about things and then just talk about it and talk about it. It's never going to get done. So first thing first is just really taking the action.
Yeah.
The first action, I would say, take the ASVAB test.
Okay.
All right, see how you range, right? And then go get a recruiter or something. Get them, this is my score for ASVAB test. How many jobs can I get out of this score, right? If you see you have less jobs, maybe you probably need to focus on that ASVAB test and maybe figure out something more to which you want to because the higher your score is, the more options you have.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have plenty of options to pick from there, right? And also too, is one of these things I call job security too. The Army, they're very great at making sure you have a job.
Okay.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Even if you leave, they'll always make sure you have a job.
Okay.
They take care of their own, even though they don't have the resources, but they do take care of their own because...
Question on that.
Yeah.
If you say they take care of their own, what about all these homeless vets that we see on the streets?
Dude, trauma, man. Trauma from deployments, trauma from what they experience over there.
Yeah, so it's
it can
really
take
hard
you.
for them.
It can take you from... It can take you from living with your family to living in the streets within a month's time.
Man.
Without you not knowing, especially if it's not treated at the earlier stage.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Man.
It's hard for them.
Yeah.
You cannot really do much with them because what they're used to, they're used to violence.
Yeah.
Especially if they're in Afghanistan and Iraq, especially in the 2008 era. Yeah.
Wow.
It's tough, man.
It is.
Trauma out there, it's very real. You know, people are struggling out there, man.
I know, man. It's
People damn near kill themselves easily because of just that trauma, because it cannot seem to end. You know, so.
What about talk to that Kenyan parent?
So I would say, first thing first, that Kenyan parent, just understand that he or she might be experiencing either, not really experiencing, maybe trying to find out themselves who they are, especially here in America.
Yeah.
They're really trying to find out who really they are. And the growing up, they known you to be working majority of the time. Because most Kenyans, parents, they work. They've seen you work from top to bottom and stuff like that. And what they're experiencing at school is completely different to what you experience at school.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, they're learning who they are first. And actually you should entrust them to experience everything they want to experience in life their own way.
Yeah.
Because because the best teachers really experience. You know, there's no way you can learn from. I mean, I can have so many things to share about it, but when you experience it yourself, you will know more about it.
Yes.
Even on a deeper level.
Yeah.
You know, because within you'll be like, this is what went down.
Yeah.
This is what I'm experiencing. You know, it's kind of like marriage. You get married once. If it doesn't work, when you get married again, if you choose to decide, you know what to do, what not to do.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
it's the same
true.
thing.
Yeah.
You know? It's really the same thing with that experience. They're learning and then you have to understand too, when that parent, he or she needs to understand when they were growing up, they never had what this person has, what this guy is having right now. Because this guy is living in a first world country.
Yeah.
And they're experiencing something totally different. You know, it's not the same whereby you had to ask your parents for money. Over here, you can go work for money.
That's true.
And then go all you need. And then you don't even need to ask your parents because, you know, you're of age to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so I would just say let them experience it. Let them see what life is outside your own bubble.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so much out there for them to learn.
Nice.
There's so many limits they can push themselves to.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much they can accomplish without you being... Because I also think that, too, if you hold them on this one little bubble, they're going to eventually, when they grow up, even to be bigger, they're probably going to hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, I had this opportunity you didn't let me take. I had this experience I wanted to do. You didn't let me do it because you are all your own fears.
Yeah.
You know, you took it. Also, too, don't put your insecurities on them. You know, don't put what you learned or what you know and what you're afraid of on them because they're not afraid of that.
Yes.
You are the one who's afraid of that.
100%.
You know, so you need to fix yourself and let that person, and let that kid be. You know, so that's really it.
Okay. If you're someone offered you $2 million and your brother has to go to jail for 1 year, what would you do?
$2 million and my brother goes to jail?
For 1 year.
For 1 year?
Yeah, and you get the $2 million.
No, I'm not taking that $2 million.
Oh, for real?
No, I'm not taking
Bro, what, you invest the money, he comes back out and you'll be Gucci.
No, I'm not taking that money.
You're not?
No.
Hey. Should the ladies slide in on your DM?
I mean, they're free to do that.
Oh,
you
yeah?
know? They are free, but just be rest assured, it's not going to be answered right then and there.
But we're going to see he has seen it.
No, I don't even do that.
Oh, for real?
I just don't even read them.
Yeah.
There's so much out there. I don't.
How is your DM? I can tell with the hesitation. The DM is DMing.
They're DMs, they're there, but it's one of those things whereby if you pay much attention to it, you're gonna be swimming in it if you're not careful what you're actually asking for. I think for me, I think I'm the one in the DMs more actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I know my ways around.
Thank you so much for coming through, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man.
Manze, it was nice hearing those stories. You have just made me to be the reason why I sprang. Because
I'm sprung.
I'm happy I sprang. Happy I sprang.
But could you imagine if you actually joined?
Hey, bro, I think I'll be single like you, man. I love this. I love the skirts, you know? I love the skirts. You cannot serve two masters. You see, even my producer, he cannot join.
Could you imagine of how many things you could have actually accomplished?
Nothing.
There's so many things that you could have done.
Yeah, traveling, that's one
exactly.
thing.
You have seen, the army could have taken you, not the great places, but
you know me, I wanted to be a sniper though.
Yeah?
That's what I was trying to do, man. So you see now I'll be really effed up because of the people I could have killed and my brain would have been toast. And
you will be having a different topic. We will be having a different topic right now.
I know.
A different story right now.
I'll be single because I don't know I can get married with all those.
Not every military people are single. We have married people.
Yeah.
We've been married for over 20 years.
That's true. Yeah.
But it's work though.
Hey, let me sprung, my guy. I'm sprung.
She got me.
She got me. But anyway, Bills, thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you.
If anybody might want to reach you out for any advice, if it's fitness, maybe army, would you give them a social where they can reach you out?
Yes, my Instagram is I am Bill Cogan.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Instagram. Is very open.
Yeah.
I don't like putting on private. Those people who put their socials on private, they're useless.
I know.
It's like, why are you hiding? It's a public thing. Why are you
celebrities.
hiding it? For what? You don't even have that blue check for what?
I think those are ghost followers who follow you to see what you're up to, but they don't want you to see what they're up to.
Bro, that's useless. That's horseshit.
I know, man. It's crazy.
Why? It's a public thing, you know. So it's very open. My socials are very open on X.
Okay.
Ed Bill Chasusi. Just hit me up. You know, can't give out my phone number though.
Yeah. Don't give it because single ladies, they will want to see if your Glock is 9mm or 10. You know. So don't give them your number.
It doesn't have a safety. So.
Oh, it doesn't. Hey. How many rounds?
We can go 18 rounds.
18 rounds. My guy. That was Bill. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, we out. Peace.